mere moments ago. And here she is lined up in front of me, Aine Laffin. Aine, it's lovely to see you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Ruth.
And Aine is going to talk about advancing your career at Boston Scientific. And she is actually a manufacturing engineering manager, PCT, at Boston Scientific. So I will let you go and take the floor. And after about 20-25 minutes, we'll come back with some questions if there are any. And just a reminder, as always, that if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat function and I'll pose them to Aine for you later. So Aine, the floor is all yours.
Perfect. Thanks, Ruth. Can you see my screen okay?
Certainly can. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks a million. So I'm just going to start off with a little introduction to myself. So as Ruth said, my name's Aine Laffin. I'm one of the manufacturing engineering managers on site in Galway for Boston Scientific. So I've been very, very lucky. I've had a very successful career with Boston Scientific. My background is actually chemical engineering. So I studied chemical engineering in Queen's University Belfast, and I specialised in polymer engineering. And then I did a PhD in polymer, specialising in medical device applications. So I started with Boston in 2006 on the graduate development programme. So I actually started in the production area where I'm now ME manager. So I've been so lucky to been able to progress within the same area. So I have worked in numerous roles through the years. I've worked in PCT, I've worked in various top assembly areas, and I have progressed my career from graduate engineer through to ME1, through to ME2. And during that time, I had the opportunity to get some more qualifications. So I got my Black Belt Six Sigma qualification and my project management passport. And I got lots of opportunity to travel into the US as well. So I'm going to talk in a second. We're a global company and we're very much linked with our US site. So there's always plenty of opportunity to travel. And then in 2014, I became senior manufacturing engineer. So I was a people manager of about 12 engineers and technicians and the lead of the project management organization in my production area. I was then 10 years with the company straight out of college and decided it might be time to try something a little bit different. So I went and worked for another company called Teleflex for 3 years, whereas global polymer SME and global plastics commodity manager. So got to travel the world for a few years, but missed the culture and the people in Boston Scientific. So I came back in October 2018 as a manufacturing engineer manager in PCT, where I started in 2006. I'm people manager of about 65 to 70 people, and I'm the functional and technical leader in PCT. So that's kind of just a quick overview of me and my career to date in Boston Scientific. So just to start off, when I talk about the company, one of the things I want to talk about is our mission and our values. So Boston Scientific, what are we about? So we're dedicated to transform lives through innovative medical solutions that improve the health of patients around the world. And one of the things we're very committed to is our values. So we have global values. So it doesn't matter what manufacturing site you go into across the world, in Boston Scientific, you will see these values exhibited in each site. So the first one is caring. So we're very much a caring organization. We put our people first, and we're nothing that in the last year COVID hasn't taught us is about how to look after each other. So that is very much one of our values. Meaningful innovation. It's a medical device company, a huge manufacturing organization, loads of R&D, and we're all about meaningful innovation. High performance culture definitely exists in Boston Scientific. Global company, so but we work quite closely with the other sites, so it's very much global collaboration. We're very focused on diversity and winning spirit, so it's one team winning together. So meant for a global company, so more than 120 countries worldwide with commercial representation. So we have nearly 40,000 employees worldwide. over 179 sites, including 38 manufacturing centres worldwide, of which Galway is one of the top 2 manufacturing sites, I'd say, in terms of size. And there's approximately 42% of our net sales in 2019 were international. So we're also very focused on our environmental footprint. So we've done a lot of great work in the last few years trying to reduce our carbon footprint. So we've got 50% renewable energy by 2021, and the plan is to go to 90% renewable energy by 2027. And really our goal is to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030, and we're very much on our way to do that. So some of our recent accomplishments, we've decreased our greenhouse gas emissions by 47%, and we've decreased our water consumption by 30%, and we divert 95% of all solid waste from landfills. So just to talk about Boston Scientific in Ireland, so we actually have 3 sites in Ireland. I'm based in the Galway site. It's the biggest site in Ireland. So we have nearly 4,000 people work here in Galway, and we make about 4.5 million units each year. So it's a very busy site. Our big thing is drug-eluting stents, but we also have some self-expanding stents and some valve implant manufacture as well. So it's a huge site. We've actually over 2 buildings now, and very busy, but always lots of challenges. In Cork, we've got about 1,200 people work there, and make just over 10 million units per year. And their kind of key product ranges are hydrogels, coils, and atherectomy devices. And then Clonmel, something similar to Cork, where about 1,000 people working there, and they're very much focused on defibrillators, pacemakers, and spinal cord or deep brain stimulators. So all in all, about 6,000 people in Ireland working for Boston Scientific, so a huge employer on the island. So what do we do? So we're a medical device company, and we make products to help patients in pretty much every area of the body. So we have a neuromodulation division where we have electronic implantable technologies help patients who manage debilitating chronic pain. With CRM, so we have groundbreaking technologies that treat irregular heart rhythms and heart failure and help protect against sudden cardiac arrest. EP, electrophysiology, which helps a broad range of mapping and treatment technologies for diagnosing and treating heart rhythm disorders. IC, which is probably one of the main products in Galway, is minimally invasive innovations that help improve the lives of patients with heart and vascular conditions. We've also got a PI franchise, which we make a lot of products for in Galway as well. So leading devices for diagnosis of minimally invasive treatments for peripheral vascular disease and cancer. We've got an endoscopy division as well, which make devices for diagnosing and treating gastrointestinal and pulmonary conditions, and a urology and pelvic health division as well. So pretty much every area of the body, Boston Scientific makes products to treat disease in that area. So from a Galway perspective, so I work in manufacturing engineering. So we love our technology, and we're set up with multiple production units, and each production unit focuses on one particular type of technology. So we've got a metals area where we do laser cutting, electropolishing, braiding, that kind of thing. Polymer core technology, which is my area. So we do extrusions, we do injection molding, hydrophilic coating, and balloon forming. But catheter manufacturing areas, huge amount of automation in those areas. Do laser bonding, crimping, balloon forming, and coating as well. And then we've got the whole drug-eluting stent area where we do drug coating and crimping the stent. So we've loads of chemists working on drug formulation, drug coating, stent crimping, lots of vision technology in that area. And there's a whole analytical testing division that supports that group. And we've got our structural heart area as well. So tissue engineering, chemical sterilization, suturing, that kind of thing. So a whole range of process technologies across the Galway plant. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen a second, and I'm going to show you a patient story. So. You can see that okay. So actually I might just share a sound, 2 seconds. Okay, so this is a story of one of our product builders who works in PCT, Ian, who obviously works in building stents and actually made the stent that saved his life. So just going to share Ian's story with you now.
My name is Ian Dube. I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm with Boston Scientific for 14 years. I'm doing night shift, PCT. 2nd of September, I had a heart attack after having my breakfast. I just felt a burn in my heart. Then I just collapsed. Fortunately, there's someone in the house who called an ambulance. The next thing, I woke up in a theater. The doctor asking me, Ian, are you still feeling any pain? That time I said no, and then he told me, you have a Boston Scientific stent. I was excited. I couldn't believe it. Discovering that I was the one who started the stent, PCT, and it went through all other departments. It really touched me, because we tend to thank the doctors who saves our life, but forget about the people behind the scenes who made that stand. I made the stand, and my work colleagues made the stand.
When I think about this story, ultimately what I think about is winning together, and that cultural journey that we have been on and that we're on. And one part that we talk about all the time is saving and improving lives. But it's not often that we get that opportunity to save and improve the life of a work colleague, somebody that we work beside every single day. And in fact, in this case, Ian got to work on the component that eventually went in and saved his own life. The second part of winning together that kind of links it all together for me is being part of a great team. And I am so exceptionally proud of the PCT team who worked together making these components that went in and saved one of their friends' lives, one of their colleagues' lives. Something that I think we should all be extremely proud of.
This is my souvenir from Boston Scientific. Thank you very much to each and every Boston staff throughout the world. We are doing a great job. I might thank the doctors, but you are special. You are special. I'm alive because of you.
Okay, so just go. Sorry. So I'll just go into the presentation now, but just want to show you an example of how Boston Scientific can impact people's lives, where Ian's still working with us and still telling everybody every day how Boston Scientific saved his life. So it's a phenomenally rewarding place to work. Okay, so the next slide then just talks to, obviously we're always recruiting, we're always looking for people. So what kind of people are we looking for to join our team? We're looking for ambitious people who are innovative team players with strong problem solving skills. Really that can-do attitude, somebody who always wants to make things better, continues to improve things, make an impact. People with enthusiasm and energy, working at the forefront of medical device technology. So we look for leadership skills in people, strong communication skills, people who can make decisions, people who can influence, and conflict management. We look for interpersonal skills. So we place a lot of emphasis on teams working together and working together well. So somebody who's enthusiastic and interested in joining the company, really positive attitude and very focused on teamwork. And from a technical perspective, people who can work on projects, do project management and problem solving skills. So I mentioned before our core values. So we really are driven by our core values: our winning spirit, meaningful innovation, current, global collaboration, high performance, and diversity. So what do you get if you come work for Boston Scientific? So a career with a meaningful purpose, opportunity to transform the lives of patients worldwide. And we just showed you an example of that with Aine's story. And we've multiple examples of that. Our culture, so we've done a lot of work over the last few years in terms of our culture, and we're really guided by our core values, and that really defines our culture and really empowers our employees. Very focused on career development. So I'm one of those lucky people who got to develop their career at Boston Scientific. Highly engaged leaders who empower you to grow and invest in your potential. You can broaden your skills through personal development courses as well. So we're very supportive of that. Opportunity to innovate. So we really encourage people to fulfill their true creative potentials, picking up your ideas and solutions to problems that matter. Great benefits, so market leading benefits, including performance related bonus, pension contributions, and healthcare. Work-life balance, so I'm a busy mum of 2 small children, very much focused on work-life balance, and we've really created that culture that acknowledges, respects, and supports your life and work choices. And corporate social responsibility as well. So we are dedicated to progressing business practices in areas important to our communities, and we do have our on-site charity partners, and we've raised over 1.5 million for worthy causes in the past 10 years. So just some tips if anybody comes to interview at Boston Scientific. So please get familiar with the job description and research any unfamiliar terms. So terms that might be familiar to us and we might have them in job description may not mean a lot to other people, so don't be afraid to ask for clarity. Research the company and the industry you will be asked. Know your CV. Be confident in your answers. Show enthusiasm and interest in the role and company. We really ask people to think about your answers and really structure them. Okay, so we talk about this STAR way of answering your questions. Think about what the situation was, what the task was, what the action you took, and what the result was. And that really helps to give the interviewer a really good understanding, and use real examples. Don't talk hypothetically. Don't be afraid to highlight your strengths and rate them to the job you're interviewing for. First impressions matter, so make eye contact, smile, think about your body language and posture, and be yourself. We really look for authentic people who are being themselves. So we've included a slide on virtual interviewing. So this is new in the whole virtual world. It's bringing some challenges in terms of virtual interviewing. So just some things to bear in mind if you're going for a virtual interview. So make sure your device is working, check your mic, your camera, your headphones in advance. Do a quick check of your internet speed 10 to 15 minutes before your interview. If there's an app you need for your interview, make sure you have all that downloaded and ready. Set up your workspace, so ensure the camera is at face height and you're facing the light, so we want to be able to see people and make eye contact, connect. Pick a room that only you have access to and let people in the house know not to disturb you. Even though it's a virtual interview, expect people to dress appropriately, business casual, just like you would for any face-to-face interview. Ensure your device is near a plug socket and leave it charging for the duration of the interview, so you don't want your laptop to die during it. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. So I'm sure, depending where we are, there can be a lot going on. So please remain focused and engaged. Don't read your CV from the screen you're working off. It's very obvious to the panel. And try to minimize note taking because eye contact with the interviewer is very important. So just finally on some of the open roles we have. So we've a wide range of roles open at the moment. We're looking for quality engineers, both level 1 and 2 and senior level. we're looking for process engineers, we're looking for supervisors, a tax manager, manufacturing engineer, level 1 and 2, a senior financial analyst, sourcing specialist 1, and a chemist. But this changes all the time, so please keep an eye on open roles on our website. So to join a collaborative culture driven by passion for innovation that makes meaningful impact, you can contact our website and you'll see all the open roles posted. So that's the end of my presentation. So if anybody has got any questions, I'd be delighted to take them.
Aine, that was brilliant. If I had the capacity, I would love to go and work for Boston Scientific. You sold it really, really well, can I just say?
Thank you.
And that story of Ian and making
Yes.
his own stent.
It's unreal, yeah. And we've so many stories like that, Ruth. It's unreal. And my own father actually got a Boston Scientific stent. So you talk about why do you come to work every day and why do you do what you do and why do you love what you do? And so many people have got those kind of stories. So we're so lucky to work in this environment.
That's amazing. I suppose I don't think of a day like this as necessarily having feel good elements quite like that. But that was really, it's just a lovely sort of circular story. I really liked it. I do actually I'll start with a question for you. And it's come from Adrian McBrien. And this kind of referencing maybe your open roles at the end. Do you have a talent acquisition department? Or is it just a case of go to your website regularly and see what roles there are?
We do have a talent acquisition department. I think Enda's on the line. And I don't know if you can hear, he's logged in. So we have a talent acquisition department that works on the Galway site, and Enda Fallon, it supports the production area. So now we do ask people to go through the website. So it's probably the best way of applying for roles.
Exactly,
but
we have on the career site, not at all, Aine, fair play, was brilliant to hear all that again. And exactly, it's so impactful, especially with the patient story. But we do have the career site, and you can set up, an email alert there to whatever areas people are kind of interested in or have experience in, so they can do that themselves, or they can join a kind of candidate pool. But again, if anyone has any interest, they can just link into us on the chats there today as well.
Yeah, because of course you have the virtual stand, as it were.
Exactly.
Which is great. I loved as well the idea that you're a global company. And what I was curious about, Aine, you mentioned, I mean, it was great. I felt I learned about you as well, and you're a black belt and you're a mum of 2 and you're busy and all that. And I suppose it's nice to see the human face of employment, of employers as well. You mentioned how they are the kind of company who really are conscious of a work-life balance. And I suppose some companies may say, oh, yeah, we're all about it. But it really feels like yours are. I'm finding myself wondering, how does that work in a global company?
Yeah, so Ruth, even though we're a global company, we're the manufacturing, the Galway site is very much the Galway site. Now, sometimes we might have to have calls with Penang or America, but we're very much mindful of that. And we, if you call with Penang, you leave with investment, and everybody supports that and is totally appreciative of it. And because the other thing, we're 24/7 organization as well, so we run production pretty much all the time. So there will be times where we might need to come in and have one-to-ones with our team on nights, but again, the next morning I'll drop the kids to school and come in a bit later. So it's very much flexible and working for you.
And you mentioned as well things like your consumption of raw materials have reduced in terms of environmentally friendly aspect to the work, corporate social responsibility, and respect was a word that you mentioned. And I think it's important to hear a word like that when you are applying for a job somewhere, because it's great and you need to have to be able to make a living, to be able to earn money, to put food on the table and whatnot. But respect really does play a big part. Is that the kind of thing that makes for employee engagement and keeping employees for longer?
So I'm just looking at them on the wall here. So we have behavioural standards, so 7 behavioural standards on the wall. And the first one is we take the time to show respect. So respect is our number 1 behavioural standard. So we have everybody's trained these behavioural standards. If anybody doesn't use the behavioural standards, we can respectfully challenge people, and it's really part of our culture, and everything that we do. And respect is the number one behaviour standard. Doesn't matter who you are, what you do in the company, we respect each other.
Great. I do have a question then that came in from Ryan Jennings. I'm not sure about this. He says, does age/experience matter in your company? I'm presuming you're not allowed to make any judgments based on age.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't impact it at all. So we have so I can just talk to manufacturing engineering. We have different levels. So I come in as graduate engineer straight from college. An engineer one might have two. We look for 2 to 3 years experience. ME2, up to 5 years, senior +7, all that kind of thing. So we do look for the level experience, but age is absolutely not. No.
Bernie Smith says, do you recruit management skills from other sectors?
Absolutely, yeah. We're very much all about diversity, and we talk about diversity. It's not just male or female or where you're from. It's diversity of thought, and we really value people come from other industries, and we learn a lot from them. So we look for shared competencies, shared leadership skills. Obviously can be used in any area. So we're very much open to people outside the medical device industry. In fact, we value it and see the benefit of it. And it's not just diversity; it's diversity and inclusion. So people come from a different background or different experience. How do we get the best from those people and get their ideas and our behavioural standards help us with that as well. It's take the time to listen, understand, appreciate each other is another one. So
great. Well, I think I'll leave it there at the moment. There was lots of great questions that came in for you, and thank you for being so amenable as to answer them all. Thank you for sharing your presentation. It was brilliant. I don't think I'll ever forget Ian and his stent. It really is quite the story. And I know, again, as you've said, you have the virtual stand here today at the Recruitment Expo, and people will be able to talk to you there directly. And as you said as well, go to the website and have a look and keep an eye and set up your Google alerts for when the different roles become available. And I hope whoever ends up working there has a great time in Galway, because Galway is a great place to live.
It really is. Yeah. Thanks a million, guys.
Lovely to talk to you, and say hi to them all in Boston Scientific from us.
Will do. Thanks a million, guys.